Glenn Beck has announced the follow-up to last summer's Restoring Honor rally. This time, it's even more ambitious. Beck's taking his National Lampoon show to the Holy Land. He's hosting his latest rally, Restoring Courage, in Jerusalem, which is a little ironic, given some of the things that Beck has said in the past about Jews.
George Soros used to go around with this, anti-Semite, and deliver papers to the Jews and confiscate their property and then ship them off. It is frightening. Here's a Jewish boy helping send the Jews to the death camps. Reformed rabbis are generally political in nature. It's almost like Islam, radicalized Islam in a way.
Of course, the comments about Soros were hideous lies. He did no such thing. Honestly, it was the single worst lie I've ever heard from a right-wing talk show host. And that is a high bar to cross, but he crossed it. And he had to retract the comments about Reformed Jews, which was said on a different program, because as usual, he had no idea what he was talking about. So why is he going to Jerusalem, of all places? Well, it seems Beck's decided that his post-Fox News career is all about saving the world. And that means he's got to get his followers worried about the impending apocalypse.
Things in Israel are going to get bad. They're going to spread across the Middle East. The things that I've told you are coming will come. It's only a matter of time. And there are forces in this land and forces all over the globe that are trying to destroy us. I want you to know the very gates of hell are going to open up against us.
Who does this guy think he is, John the Baptist? What kind of lunatic talks like that? After initially talking about how much people might be charged for this trip, he now says that this has nothing to do with personal gain.
This journey to Israel for me is personal. It's not about celebrity or teaching anybody a lesson or sending a message to any earthly power. It is about sending a message to our Maker and letting Him hear our message as individuals. That this time I will stand and I will be counted.
Yeah, God can't wait for Beck's message. If he wanted to hear your blather, couldn't he just turn on Fox News Channel? Oh no, that's right, actually that show got canceled. Well, he could just listen to you on the radio in New York. Oh, right, that got canceled too. Well, how about Philadelphia? Oh, that got canceled too. All right, well, maybe he does have to go to Jerusalem to find anyone who'll listen to him. Now, let's talk about this a little bit more. Joining me now is Jeremy Ben-Ami. He's president of the J Street. It's a pro-Israel group whose mission is to ensure a broad debate on Israel and the Middle East in national politics. Jeremy was also the deputy domestic policy advisor for President Bill Clinton. Also joining us is Ari Rabin-Havt. He is the executive vice president of Media Matters, a nonprofit that follows Beck closely, which is not an enviable job. All right, Jeremy, let me start with you. Given all the questionable things he said about Jewish folks in the past, what's he doing here? Is this to make amends for that, or is he oblivious to that? What's going on here?
Well, it's kind of a strange way to make amends, because if he is trying to be pro-Israel or he's trying to help in some way to make the world a better place, probably the worst thing he could do is to go to Jerusalem with hundreds or thousands of people and argue against making peace. He's called the two-state solution the end of his faith and a doorway to the destruction of Jerusalem. And actually, the two-state solution is the only way that there is ever going to be peace in that region of the world. So he's certainly got a very strange idea of what his mission might be and what it means to be pro-Israel or a friend of the Jewish people.
Now, Ari, you guys have been tracking Glenn Beck for a long time. Does he really believe this? I mean, there's these crazy theories that if Israel goes to war or is attacked by the Russians or some crazy nonsense like that, then everybody dies. 2/3 of the Jews die. Can he really believe that? I mean, I guess so. You tell me. Does he talk about that? What does he mean by the apocalypse?
I certainly hope he doesn't believe what he says. I mean, first he had the 9/12 project, then he had Restoring Honor, now he's doing Restoring Courage. You know, the year after he was Restoring My Bank Account. You know, it's just, this is a self-promotion machine. He's a guy who, he hosts a guy like David Barton on his show who's condemned by the Anti-Defamation League for hanging out with anti-Semites. He cites Elizabeth Dilling, who is an anti-Semite. He cites Estes Mullins, who's an anti-Semite. And, you know, now he's going to Israel to rebuild his brand after 400 rabbis condemn him in the Wall Street Journal. I mean, this is a branding exercise. He's a guy who depends on it to sell books, to get ratings for his radio show, to go on tour. He's building his brand here so he can continue doing that after his Fox show goes away.
You know, the 400 rabbis, that was a little tough. Jeremy, as you look at this, though, the right-wingers who pretend to be in favor of Israel so that because they don't want the two-state solution, as you talked about, so that their fairy tales about Armageddon can come true and, you know, we all die. But, you know, the thing that I mentioned there, part of this whole mythology is that 2/3 of the Jews die. What kind of a friend to Israel thinks that, hey, it'd be great if 2/3 of the Jews died?
Now, that's one of the most astounding things about this whole alliance, actually, between the right wing of the Jewish community and the right wing of the evangelical Christian community. And you have a trail of people from Mike Huckabee, Sarah Palin, now Glenn Beck, and many others, John Hagee, of course, being the most notable example. And for some reason, the right wing of the Jewish community has forged an alliance that they think is in the best interests of Israel and the best interests of the Jewish people, when the end result for the Jews is not good. You know, the end result here is that we all, in fact, do perish in a battle of apocalypse at Armageddon. And the notion that this is somehow in the best interest of the Jewish people, when in fact the people who are charged with the defense of the country of Israel, the defense ministers, the heads of the intelligence, the heads of Secret Service, all of that, say the last thing we need to do is to try to fight against a two-state solution. We need a two-state solution, and we need it now. And we need it before this place blows up.
Jeremy, don't get too discouraged. Apparently 144,000 male virgin Jews do get to survive, but they have to convert to Christianity. So you have that to look forward to. All right, we are unfortunately... Right, exactly. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Jeremy Ben-Ami, president of J Street, and Ari from Media Matters, thank you both so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.